So, hello everyone, happy to be here. Haven't been in Berlin for so many years, but I lived here for quite some years. My first time here at Ecosummit, but hopefully not the last. So we'll see if this works. So I'm representing the Swedish Energy Agency, and we like to think that we are leading society's transitions to a sustainable energy system. And I like to start with two quotes. Sweden is responsible for less than 1 per mil of the world's total emissions, but aspire to present far more solutions in order to reduce them. And how do we do this? Well, international collaboration, which is key in order to fasten society's transition towards reliable and sustainable energy systems. We have a very ambitious agenda from Sweden and from the Swedish government. And I think the key goal is 100% renewable electricity by 2040. And this is doable, we know this, because we're sitting with the calculations. We have some sub-goals. I will go through them briefly. 50% more efficient use of energy in 2030, no net emission of greenhouse gases by 2045, and 70% less emissions from transports in 2030. And they all rely on the 3 pillars of Sweden's energy policy: environmental sustainability, competitiveness, and security of supply, which we actually set before the war in Ukraine, but this is becoming increasingly important nowadays. So we like to think that Sweden punches above its weight. This is a fun picture, discovery map. As you can see, Sweden is pretty well represented, as is Germany. But just to give you sort of an example, we like to see ourselves as a very innovative country. And this is just a map showing innovation leadership, and it's not our own study, it's actually carried out by somebody else. And it points out that Sweden and Finland and Denmark and some other countries are innovation leaders. This is a graph showing the top 20 European countries by capital investments. And sadly, we're not number 1. I regret that. We're striving towards that, but it's a tough goal. But we are number 4. And as you can see from the graph, we have doubled the capital investments in Swedish companies from 2020 to 2021. And since this is an investors' conference, please reach out to us if you are interested in discussing not only Sweden but Scandinavia from an investment point of view. We're happy to share our thoughts and companies, of course. So how do we come into this, the Swedish Energy Agency? What do we do? Well, it's a very good question. We're roughly 500 people working with different things. But what we do, and with we I mean my team and I, we focus a lot on program for fundamental research, program for applied R&D, financing for Swedish companies that are innovative, starting off, innovative cutting-edge ideas, and then of course concept development. Are they ready to take the next step out? And then of course verification with customers and prototypes, pilots, demonstrations. And as you can see on the top picture, you see some of our focus markets where we have a pretty good footprint. And you also see thematic programs for partnership and export promotion. So we work a lot with batteries, storage, hydrogen, smart cities, district heating and cooling, bioenergy, and other areas. So if you're working with those areas as well, please reach out to me or my colleague today. And then, of course, access to private equity. So we support a lot of companies with equities. We set up program. We have, I think, roughly 5 accelerator programs in different countries. So we are working really hard on getting the Swedish companies out and making a change. So this is just one example of the programs we have today. As a small country, we have a pretty good footprint if you look at the world. We're trying to maybe shift our agenda a little bit towards the developing countries, so South America and Africa. So maybe next year I can give you some other examples. And this is just a slide showing that what we're doing actually makes the difference. So we're investing roughly 120 million euros per year for support for research and innovation. And then we're saving about 1 gigaton, but actually my colleague told me today it's more or less 1.5 gigatons with 90 innovations with potential to save more than 20 times the total greenhouse gases emissions from Sweden. So I think that's pretty impressive. And then we are investing 93 million euros in 260 SMEs for financial support and accelerating startups. And some of those startups are here today, so they will present after me. And those companies are Elic, Skaven, Core Power Ocean, and Rebase. And I have 8 more seconds. So I say thank you very much. Please reach out to me or my colleagues. Looking forward. Thank you.